Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, everybody. It is Sunday, December 11th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am a professional wrestler. Nah, I'm a sports entertainer. No, I'm just a guy running a fun wrestling podcast. Jeremy Pierce, what is going on, everybody? Got a good show for you today. We're running things down, man. It's almost up. 2022 is almost done, man. But first things first, you can check me out on the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. Charismatic_creations 52 on Instagram, and the 215 on Twitter. Now, last week we had our 100th episode. It was great. It was awesome. And today we're looking at the worst of 2022. Got a couple stories that we're going to go take a look back on and see how them Jones panned out. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right, so for the news, got some things that went down. So first things first, my girl, probably at this point my favorite wrestler in AEW, favorite female wrestler in AEW, Thunder Rosa. She's finally able to lift weights after her brutal back injury, which is great news. I cannot wait for her to return. SmackDown last week that aired on FS1, just the December 2nd episode, 902,000 viewers with a .25 on the 18-49 demo. This is okay. It happens. I mean, that's a big drop. On the 25th episode, November 25th, they had over 2 billion viewers. So the down ratings are expected. Moving to FS1, I didn't think would be that big. Rampage that same night did 361,000 viewers with a .08 in the 18-49 demo. That's down once again. And Tony Khan has stated that he's going to try his best to get these ratings back up. He's got to start making Rampage feel like more of a big deal. Spotted at a WWE workout was none other than Smiley Kylie Ray. She was at the tryout. She honestly, it's Kylie Ray. She really doesn't need to try out, but I'm happy to see her just back, happy, healthy, in her right state of mind, wrestling. It's great. She should get signed. She really doesn't need to try out. It's Kylie Ray. She was going to be the face of AEW's women division before she had to leave. Matt Riddle has been written off of television not due to the attack. He's just taken off of TV for now. It happens. We'll see what's next for the original bro. Athena called out the double standard in pro wrestling after backlash from her stiff in-ring style, and she's right. I'm not going to read the whole thing she says, but she's essentially she goes, some of the best matches of the year from the men have been hard-hitting, bloody affairs, but when I do it, when other women do it, there's a problem. Mind you, Laney Luck isn't like some rookie. She's been wrestling on indies for years, and Athena's always been hard-hitting, and she's right. There is a double standard. And the crazy part is, the experienced women that have wrestled the Joshi style have been told to hold back. Toni Storm, Athena, Mercedes Martinez, Ruby Soho, they've been told to hold back. Jamie Hayter, because they hit too hard. Shida has essentially stated that, yeah, I'm holding back. I've been told to hold back on her hits and her kicks. Y'all don't understand that Japan Shida and AEW Shida are two different beasts. You do not want to fuck with Japan Shida. The Usos came in number one on PWI's Tag Team 100. And for 2022, I would have probably made FTR the number one team, but like it's essentially 1A and 1B when it comes to the two best tag teams in professional wrestling. The Usos are 1, FTR is 2, Briscoes are 3. Looking at the list, let's look at the top 10 real quick. Number 10, Violence is Forever, the team of Dominic Garino and Kevin Koo. Number 9, the Hex, Allison Kay and Marty Bell. Number 8, the Young Bucks. Number 7, the OC. Number 6, RK Bro. Number 5, FWC, Hazuki and Kaguma. Number 4, Death Triangle. 3, the Briscoes. 2, FTR. 1, the Usos. This is great. Outside of the top 10, United Empire, Street Profits, Toxic Attraction, Swerve in Our Glory, Naomi and Sasha, The Acclaimed. But I like that this includes all men and women for the tag teams. Raw ratings dropped this week. They pulled in 1.5 million viewers with a .41 and an 18-49 demo. They're down in the viewership, but they were up in the demo. I know. Asuka is hinting at returning to her old Kana gimmick. Killer Kana, give it to me. Period. I want it. I need it. William Regal's officially done with AEW. He will be heading back to the WWE. He can't appear on camera as a talent, I believe, for at least a year, but he's essentially going back to, 1, work with Triple H, but 2, to train his son, to work with his son, and Tony Khan understands that. AEW Dynamite viewership, they brought in 840,000 viewers with a .29 and the 18-49 demo. That is down from the previous week in the viewership, but up in the demo. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. I'm hoping that Winter is Coming will bring in over 1 million viewers. The WWE are making plans for Charlotte's return. Listen, I don't miss Charlotte. I don't need her pigeonholed, just shoved into another championship feud. But the women's roster, or the main roster, is stacked right now, and it would help that probably since a certain somebody isn't coming back to the company, they could use Charlotte. And speaking of that certain somebody, Sasha Banks will be at Wrestle Kingdom, and there is a strong chance that she will wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom, probably against Kairi Sane for the New Japan, for the IWGP Women's Championship. That match is going to, if it happens, that match is going to be fire. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. That's the news. We'll be right back. All right, so we had ourselves a nice, solid week of wrestling. Let's just dive into it. Monday Night Raw. We're in the slow season, boys. We're in that part of the year where things slow down. The WWE kind of treads water, and they don't really try that much. Remember, there is no premium live event this December. The next event we have will be the Royal Rumble. So we're just doing things right now. So the Usos were set to defend the Undisputed Tag Team Championships against Matt Riddle and Elias, but, well, Elias got jumped by the Bloodline. Sammy didn't look a little happy with that. So Riddle's partner ended up being Kevin Owens, and the Usos, of course, retained. After the match, Solo absolutely killed Matt Riddle. paying homage to his uncle Umaga. He hit him with the Samoa Spike, hit him with the hip attack, with the chair around his throat, and Riddle was no longer on TV. Becky Lynch interrupted Bayley before her match, and he had some words. Becky gave props to the tag team champions of Damage Control, but not Bayley, because Bayley's been losing. As Becky's walking to the back, Rhea comes out for the match as well. They have a stare down. It's very, very intense. Hold off on this match. Don't give me this match until after you do Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania. That's all I'm asking. Triple threat match was Bayley, Rhea, and Asuka. Really good match. Rhea Ripley had the match won, but she got a little too cocky, allowing Bayley to win the match. So Bayley will face the winner of Alexa, Nikki Cross, and Becky Lynch, and the winner of that match will face Bianca. Seth Rollins and Lashley brawl. That's what happens. They will be facing each other next week in a number one contenders match for the right to face Austin Theory. Keep going. Raw needs a world championship, but you're elevating the United States Championship pretty well. Theory is tired of Ali. He gives Ali a United States Championship match. Ali loses. Well, actually, Theory won because Dolph Ziggler super kicked Theory, so we're doing this again. Caused him the DQ, and Theory didn't have. Ali didn't like that. So we'll see where we're going here. Probably leading to I don't know. Ziggler, Ali, Theory, Seth, Bobby. We'll see. JBL's Poker Game Invitational ends with The Miz not being able to pay his way in. We're supposed to now believe that The Miz is broke. Okay. The OC getting into some words with the Alpha Academy, so they'll face the OC, and the OC will face the Alpha Academy and Baron Corbin. Dominic Mysterio versus Tozawa, and Lumis getting all the money. And in those matches, Dom beat Tozawa, and the OC defeated the Alpha Academy of Baron Corbin. I'm tired of the Alpha Academy losing all these goddamn matches. Alexa Bliss in the main event defeated Becky Lynch and Nikki Cross, and she will face Bayley next week. But Alexa's slipping. That Bray Wyatt side is slowly crawling back out. Over on Dynamite, we had a build for Final Battle, and Winter is Coming. This show gets a fist. Ricky Starks won the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. After the Battle Royal, he and MJF had a promo off, and it was just glorious. Chef's fucking kiss. Ricky gets the last laugh as Ricky cooked MJF. Cooked him. MJF went for a low blow, and then tried to hit him with the diamond ring. Ricky counter, hit a spear. Speared MJF right out of his shoes. Samoa Joe retains the TNT Championship over Darby Allin. Claudio Castagnoli and Will Yuta defeated Jake Hager and Daniel Garcia. Tony Schiavone interviews the BCC after the match and shows him a goodbye video for when Rico to tie up loose ends. He's like, listen, Rico simply said, "It's not more. I can't teach you anything else, and I know you won't let me go, so I had to do something to push you away. And the last lesson is always have eyes in the back of your head." And it just showed everything. MJF turned on him, and now the BCC is stronger than ever. And he also said, listen, you three teach Wheeler Yuta everything. I love it. Love it. Get Dan Garcia over in his jaw and let them wreck everybody. The House of Black are coming for everybody. Jamie Hayter says she will defend the Women's Championship against the winner of Sheeta and the Bunny from Rampage. Jade and the Baddies defeated Sky Blue, Madison Rayne, and Kiera Hogan. In the main event, the Acclaimed retained the World Tag Team Championships against FTR. Really good match. Over on Impact, we had a tag team title match between Heath and Ryder defended against the Motor City Machine Guns. But that ends in a no contest after the major players get involved. Mickie James and Jordan Grace had some playful, heated banter back and forth as they'll be facing each other for the Women's Championship soon. Savannah Evans defeated Ty Valkyrie. Moose jumps Gujarat to send a message to Joe Hendry. Khan beat Sammy with help from Cody Deaner. And in the main event, Speedball Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander wrestled a damn near 60-minute classic. Impact has put this match on YouTube. Go watch this match. This is why I hate when like wrestling podcasters, YouTubers, they do their year-end stuff, like the best matches of 2022. And they do that in December. They do that like at the end of November, beginning of December. There's a whole month left. So this match should be on that list. I need to go look at these lists, but I'm getting heated. Over on SmackDown, we had an okay show. It actually gets a thumbs down. It's one of the few weak shows since Triple H has taken over. The Usos retained the Tag Team Championships over the Brawling Brutes. LA Knight shows in this video a masked man in the background before every single time he was attacked, and he's right. Things aren't great. He said he's got Bray. Shook Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler gloat over beating up everyone. Took out Shotzi again. She now has a broken hand. But Ronda and Shayna are then challenged by Liv and Tegan. Liv and Tegan won. I always said they're going to win. I just don't like Shayna taking the... I don't know. This is weird. Legado del Fantasma versus the Viking Raiders ends in a no contest as Hit Row came out and just started wrecking everybody. They were tired of being chumps. Good for them. The contract signed between Ricochet and Gunther leads to a 6-man tag match between the New Day and Ricochet versus the Imperium. The Imperium says this, the same thing. We're professional wrestlers. You guys are jokes. We respect this. They still lost the match. Karrion Kross wants to put Ray down, and we ended the night with the Kurt Angle birthday celebration as Alpha Academy ruined the celebration, so Kurt and Gable Steveson sprayed with the milk truck. This is made all the more better because Otis is that dude. He's just gyrating and his shake. Otis is great. He's a national treasure, and I want him to be on the same level as Truth when all things are said and done. Over on Rampage, Jon Moxley chokes out Takeshita for the win in another great match from Takeshita. Hangman attacks Mox after the match. Sheeta retains the Regina De Wave Championship over the Bunny, so she will be taking on Jamie Hayter next Wednesday, and this match should be awesome if Tony Khan lets them get time. Lee Moriarty and now Big Bill Morrissey won a squash match in our main event. Orange Cassidy retains the All Atlantic Championship over Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian's hand-picked opponent, who was Trent Seven. Solid match. Kip jumps him after the match until Dustin Rhodes makes the save. Our matches of the week from Raw. One of the two triple threat matches, the first one, obviously, Bayley, Asuka, and Rhea Ripley put on just a barn burner of a match. Very, very, very good. From Dynamite, the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Acclaimed versus FTR. The Acclaimed finally had a legitimate, powerful win over a legitimate, powerful team. Now their championship reign has been solidified. From Impact, the Impact World Championship match, the 60-minute classic, Josh Alexander versus Mike Bailey. One more time, go and watch this match. From Rampage, Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita, dog, he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And from Final Battle, the double dog collar match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, FTR versus the Briscoes. The trilogy is over. This match was amazing, and it wasn't even the main event. I get why it wasn't the main event, because it's Jericho. Jericho's going to main event, the Ring of Honor show, but man, this was an amazing match. And our stars of the week are FTR and the Briscoes. That's the week in review, and we'll be right back. So what we need to do here is just get the the bad stuff out of the way. 2022 was a great year for professional wrestling. Was the first, in my opinion, really the first full year that even though we're still in a pandemic, as you know, coronavirus is still a thing, felt like the first full year where wrestling was somewhat back to normal, with the exception of probably New Japan. We had so much great stuff happen. We had Bianca and her just great reign. We got Forbidden Door with AEW. We had Impact Wrestling prove that they're not going anywhere, but there's also been some bad, and I think it's really time for us to let's just dive into it. These are some of the worst wrestling things of 2022. Some things are very, very obvious. Some others may not be so obvious. But first things first, I used to love NXT. And for a long time, the bright spot of NXT was the women's division. And after the switch to 2.0, things have changed drastically. That year of 2.0 just wasn't great. But coming out of 2.0, we had quote-unquote 3.0. There were two things that actually stayed consistent: Braun Breaker and Mandy Rose. And I'm going to start with Mandy and Braun. Let's start with Braun. Braun to a lesser extent. Braun, for the most part, has been NXT champion since the switch to 2.0. He defeated Ciampa, and he's showed that he's serviceable. He's got a little bit of fight in him. Got that dog in him. Can solid on the mic. But he lost the championship once in a really random feud with Dolph Ziggler, and that's been it. Now he's had a better go at it just because the men's division is much more talented than what's going on the women's side of things. So as much though I wanted to see a new champion that's not Braun Breaker, he can get a pass. What's worse, and which has been more egregious, is Mandy Rose's reign of terror. Now, I am all for rehabilitation in wrestling. I am all for people getting sent down to be built back up. So I honestly didn't have an issue with Mandy Rose actually becoming champion. What I had an issue with was Mandy Rose being pushed as the face of NXT Women's Wrestling. And I get it. A lot of the women there are pretty much green, with the exception of a few others. Let's take a look at the NXT roster, okay? On the women's side, okay? So here are the women: Alba Fire, Amari Miller, Ariana Grace, Ava Rain, Blair Davenport, Brooklyn Barlow, Cora Jade, Danny Palmer, Elektra Lopez, Fallon Henry, Gigi Dolan, Indy Hartwell, Isla Dawn, Ivy Now, JC Jane, Jakara Jackson, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, Kelly Kincaid, Kiana James, Lash Legend, Lyra Valkyrie, Mandy Rose, Mako Sotomayor, Nikita Lyons, Saray, Sol Roca, Thea Hell, Tiffany Stratton, Valentina Faraz, Yulisa Leon, Zoe Stark. Now, if you know wrestling, you know who doesn't need to be NXT. And if you know me, you know I equate number one being great in the ring above all else. So yes, Mandy Rose has improved, but the fact that she's gotten wins over women much more talented to her, better than her in the ring and that eclipse her in every possible way has been upsetting. Not only that, she's now in the Britt Baker territory of matches always winning by luck or by chance or with help and not having a clean win. Let me list the women who are just essentially better than Mandy Rose. And by better I mean in-ring ability. Alba Fire, Blair Davenport, it's a push with Gigi, it's a push with Indy, it's a push with Isla Dawn. I'll say Kaden Carter, obviously Mako, Saray, who's just disappeared, Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez. Mandy Rose has got wins over most of them. She has wins over Mako and Alba Fire. And Io Shirai. And it's one of... There was a time when the NXT Women's Championship was prestigious. It was the best women's championship in all of professional wrestling. And now, ever since the change to 2.0, ever since Raquel Gonzalez or Rodriguez, whatever she was in NXT, had become champion, the belt, the championship means nothing. And it means nothing right now around Mandy Rose's waist. And it got to the point where after she defeated Alba Fire in her last women's standing match with help, once again, I said I was done with NXT. I was done. I don't talk about NXT. You're going to hear me talk about NXT a little bit more this year with the rest of these shows, but I'm pretty much done with NXT. I don't watch it anymore, and it can be boiled down to Mandy Rose. And as much as I love Gigi Dolan, I'd kill for Gigi Dolan. She tells me to jump, I say, how high, my queen. But no, I can't do Mandy Rose's reign of terror anymore. And sticking with NXT, the disrespect of Kaylee Ray, now Alba Fire. She does not need to be in NXT at all. She was one of the longest reigning NXT UK Women's champions, at only being surpassed by Mako Sotomayor, because it's Mako fucking Sotomayor. Alba takes losses left and right, and someone that good should not have to lower themselves and should not be down there. I want her to either be released to go to New Japan, now that they have their own championship, AEW, Impact, somewhere, but she cannot be in NXT anymore. I want a lot of women saved from NXT. I don't want Alba down there. I don't want Roxanne down there. I don't want Ivy Nile down there. I don't want Zoe Stark down there. But Alba Fire should not be in NXT any longer. Next up, these next two also really go hand in hand. Tony Khan's constant signing of people. He has signed a lot of people. Like, a lot. A lot. If you go to the SmackDown Hotel, love using that website, their roster consists of including like commentators, referees. Their roster is 189 strong. Let's look on the women's side this year. And the women's division is deep. It's strong. It's got a nice mix of green, getting there, I'm here, veterans. So this year, and it's it's a little lesser on the women's side. So this year, I believe Tony signed Athena, Madison Rain, Mercedes Martinez. Ruby was signed last year. Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale. Now, on the men's side, man, the Kingdom, AR Fox, Cole Carter, the members of the firm that weren't already signed, like Morrissey. Like, people have been signed left and right. Now, I really do believe that part of this does come down to Ring of Honor, and that Ring of Honor will have a TV deal. So I wholeheartedly believe that. And this big roster will get smaller, right? Saraya signed, Jeff Jarrett signed, and like, for example, on the women's side, there's 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 42 women. Let's get rid of Renee and Lexi Nair. So there's 40 women. Vicky, so that's 39. I believe out of this 39, at least 15 are going to be a part of the Ring of Honor roster. Like, I can see the Renegade Sisters, or Dasha. I can see the Renegade Sisters, Kiera Hogan, Kyla King, Bunny, Penelope, Athena, being moved over to Ring of Honor and have a nice mix of veterans and younger talent. Same thing goes with the men, Joe, a few others. So it's a double-edged sword. You need a big roster, but you also can't put everybody on TV, which goes into this point of, where the fuck has Miro been? Miro has been MIA. Miro has everything. He is everything. He just can't get on TV. There's nothing creative for him. Yo, if you can't get him on AEW, put him in Ring of Honor. Make him the Ring of Honor World Champion. Oh my God, that will be amazing. Side note, the Ring of Honor Championships are hideous. They are ugly, especially the Ring of Honor World Championship. But back to Miro. Miro had a fantastic run as TNT champion, murdering everybody, had a nice little feud with the House of Black, wrestled at Forbidden Door, then that's it. Like, the Forbidden Door match came before the House of Black feud. And now that you have the All-Atlantic, Miro will make a great All-Atlantic champion. And I love the fact that Orange Cassidy is defending the belt every week on Rampage. At some point he's going to lose. Please lose to Miro. We just have to get Miro on TV, man. This guy has it. Signing new people is great, but you can't keep signing people to the detriment of the roster of people that you already have that can't get on TV. Like, no Miro, no Dark Order. You know what I mean? So we've just got to do better. Kip Sabian is back. I know that Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are hurt, but we've got to do something. Like, the roster is set. Bandito got signed this year. You don't need to sign any more people, Tony Khan. Get Ring of Honor a show, and let's get moving. How about Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out of the WWE? This is good for them, bad for the WWE. So, do you remember what happened? So, there was supposed to be like a fatal 4-way 2 Fatal 4-Ways, one on Raw, one on SmackDown. And at this time, Sasha and Naomi were the women's tag team champions, right? And they did everything in their power to get the belts relevant again, which they did. But then it came out that Sasha was to pin Naomi, and essentially Sasha and Naomi were both going to win their respective Fatal 4-Way matches to face, at the time, Becky and Ronda, or Bianca and Ronda. And they're like, well, why would we lose? Why should we lose? You're devaluing the tag team champions. You're devaluing what we've worked hard for. Have 2 other women win. Give them a shot. And when Vince and John Laurinaitis said no, Sasha and Naomi walked out, put the belts on the table, and left. And they have not been seen in the WWE since. WWE tried to disparage them, tried to talk down on them, and we weren't having that. Stand up for yourself. Know your worth. Know your value. Call out bullshit. Say when something is stupid. And what they were going to do to Sasha and Naomi was bullshit, and it was stupid. It just was. Then the tag team championships were vacant for a long time until Alexa and Asuka won them. But essentially, you pushed out Naomi, who is married to one of your biggest acts in the business right now. Someone who's a veteran, who's been there for a decade plus, who has a large fan base, and you just threw her to the wayside. And then there's Sasha Banks, who I think is and will go down as the greatest women's wrestler in the history of the WWE. Sasha has everything, and yet, time and again, you've constantly devalued her. She had to play a backseat to Charlotte and Becky. Yes, Sasha, main event at WrestleMania, great against Bianca Belair. That's awesome. But Sasha, not Becky, not Charlotte, not Roman, Sasha Banks should be the biggest star in your company right now. And you found it prudent to think that you can just get by without her. Which, listen, wrestling moves on. You can. I believe that. But you're going to miss so much without her. And now, we've got the news that, 1, she's training again. 2, she's filming movies, show, because she's going to get that Disney check. Don't be surprised she gets her own Mandalorian spinoff. And now she's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. And you know how long she's been wanting to wrestle in Japan? Do you know how amazing Sasha, now going by her real name, Mercedes Varnado, versus Kairi Sane will be? Let me put it like this. We know how great Sasha is. And for the folks that only watch WWE, you should know really how great Kairi Sane is. Kairi Sane, Mayu Itawa, and Io Shirai, those 3 women, and Io's sister and Asuka, those 5 women are considered not only the best women's wrestlers on the planet, but the best wrestlers on the planet. So Sasha versus Kairi is going to be phenomenal and amazing, and the WWE are going to rule the day when they let her go and they let her walk. It's not even talking about the money she's wanting, because yes, WWE superstars are underpaid. They are underpaid when it comes to the revenue share. They just are. And Sasha wanted to get paid like the star that she is. Period. All Out, Fall Out, Brawl Outs. Y'all know what I'm getting with. After All Out, CM Punk press conference, the media scrum, him and Tony Khan, he just goes on this amazingly crazy rant. And it was everything that's been going on for months boiled down. Let's take CM Punk's year in a nutshell. The outside of All Out, he had a phenomenal year his 1 year in AEW. It was a phenomenal year. But CM Punk's the kind of person that if he ever feels slighted, he will come at you. And getting dissed by everyone that he feuded with. Think about it. With the exception of Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, MJF, Hangman, Mox, all told us the truth with Punk. And hey, maybe, just maybe, Triple H was right. So Punk goes on this crazy ass rant right next to Tony Khan. Goes back to his locker room, walks in the Elite, Kenny, and the Bucks. And from what we know, Punk struck first. He threw the first punch, he threw the first hit, coming at the Elites. And here we are, the Elite and the Young Bucks. I'm sorry, the Elite and CM Punk stripped of their championship. CM Punk is essentially done with AEW. He is no longer in the company. And the Elite are back and having a best of 7 series with the Death Triangle. We don't know what's next for Punk. He was injured a few times in this 1 year, but it was a great year. And listen, he did this to himself. He kind of is a cancer in the locker room. He can be great for business. He can be bad for business. And time will tell what's next for him. Lastly, we can't talk about the worst of 22 without talking about Vincent Kennedy McMahon, gone from the WWE, pushed out, edged out because of an improper relationship that actually we found out wasn't improper, but it just doesn't look good on paper. Vince McMahon is gone. Vince McMahon is gone from the WWE. He is no longer the CEO. Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon are co-CEOs. And essentially, Triple H, who's the COO, is running the company. Triple H and Shawn Michaels are running the WWE. Let that sink in. And with the exception of NXT, we've seen great things and a great turnaround, and things are just better. Storylines make a little bit more sense. We're getting more wrestling. Wrestlers have a little bit more freedom. Michael Cole seems like he's finally enjoying himself. And it's all to not only Vince McMahon's relationship, it cost the company money. It cost the company like $15 million. The payouts cost $20 million that he was giving to multiple women. The investigation cost about $15 million. And this wasn't reported. And that's kind of the main reason Vince was pushed out, because the relationship, it wasn't because of the relationship, it was because of the money. The money wasn't reported, which changed the reports and the revenue for the quarterly reports. And now we're living in a world where Vince McMahon is no longer in charge of the WWE. Yes, I wish he could have walked out on his own terms, but he needed to do something. He needed to do something. And now here we are. What happens next? Who knows? Will we see Vince again? Who knows? But there was time for a change, and a change needed to happen. So let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? I'm trying to go back and think of, was anything else that was ultimately like the worst of 2022. Big E's neck injury, that was pretty bad. WWE, honestly, the WWE for the most part had a bunch of their pay-per-views were really lackluster. I wish Impact had more women on the roster so they can do something with the tag team division. But everything I just said really doesn't account for these 7 stories that I just told you about. But that's our show. Thank you for listening as always. Now, I know I'm about to contradict myself, but next week we will be looking at the top matches of 2022. All right. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun discussion. I think we'll go top 20. I think we'll go top 20. I think we'll go top 20. Socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Tumblr. The 215 on Twitter. And as always, Zia Lee, Wendy Chu, Shotzi Blackheart, and Gigi Dolan. Holla at you. Boy. Peace.